Okay, we're going to do the same problem, but we're going to do it entirely on the calculator. So the first thing we want to do is put in the data. So you hit Stat, that's this button here, go to Edit, and in the lists, you plug it in. You can see I've already plugged in one of them. And then for the other one, you just go in and put in this corresponding numbers in the correct order. 48, 68, 66, 69, 76, 67, and 84. Now they should match up with what we have, and you can see over here it tells you there's 7 data points. It tells you the pairs in the order they came in. Okay, so after that we just quit, and now let's do a stat plot. So stat plot, you go stat plot is second, and then right here you go to the plot, turn it on, pick, that's the scatter plot. You can see there's different choices. Put in the 2 list names, which are already there. Those are the defaults. And if not, you can see that there's L1, L2 above, and if you want to do L3 or something else, there's other choices. Pick how you want these to look like. If you want squares, pluses, or dots on your scatter plot, we'll use squares, they're good enough. And then the next thing you do is put the window in. Hit window and then fit the X's and Y's so it'll fit on the screen. So our X's go, the smallest it is 26 and the largest is 40, so I've set it for 20 to 50, and this is little hash marks at 5. And the bottom goes from 48 to 84, so I go 45 to 90 to include all the data points, and I put hash marks at 10. And then you just hit graph, and you should get your stat plot. All right? Okay, so that's the stat plot. Second part, we'll come here, is let's say we want to find the sum of the x's and all that kind of stuff, sum of the x squares. You can go stat and calculate and go down to 2 variable, put in L1 by hitting that one, and L2, oops, sorry, forgot you have to put a comma, L2, and hit enter, and notice that you'll get the x's, the x squares, standard deviation if you need it, means and standard deviations. You get the y's, some of the y squareds, their standard deviations, yes, some of the x squareds, and the min and the maxes, and lots of stuff there if you need that kind of information. Okay, but we don't actually need all that because our calculator will do it all, so let's clear this. We can go to stat, calculate, and now we're going to go to linear regression. Now notice this one says ax plus b, which is backwards of the way we do it in the book. So if you go down a little further, it has the other linear regression with a plus bx, which is the way our book does it. So you pick number 8. Again, you drop down and put in your 2 L1, comma L2, and notice it'll give you your line of regression points, 2.69 and 1.96, which is what we got before. All right, so let me write those down. I have A is 2.69 and B is 1.96, like that, just to keep track of it. Now, suppose we want to find the R. Well, here it says variables. If you hit that button and go down to statistics, notice that you can find the ends, some means, and standard deviations. Everything that's already been calculated is still in the memory, and it's under these locations. And if you go over here, you get all the sums. So even if you've gotten rid of it, they're still in the memory. But if you go over to equation, notice that you have A, B, C. So the A and the B are there for our, if I hit A, for example, you'll see that I get the 2.69, which is what we calculated. So again, you go to variable, go down to statistics, go over to equation, and notice that we have R. We can hit R and find, we get our R, which is 0.86111, which is our R value. Now the only thing we really can't do on the calculator, the way we do it in class, is the testing. So that one, you would still have to do it the way we did it in the other videos. But here's the R's. So we can actually, if we wanted to, we could graph our line of regression. We could go variable, statistics, A plus variable, statistics, over the equation B, times x, like that, and then graph it, and we'll get our line of regression that best fits the data. And there you go, a calculated version of what we did in Chapter 10.